Yo, it's the Life is Dope podcast. I'm your man, Graffiti Claus.
Just go sneak that in there. Graffiti Claus. Okay, this is Saint Davy.
Okay, I'll rock with it. How you feeling, bro?
I don't know if I'm gonna stick with Saint Davy.
You gonna stick with it?
I'm a saint.
Saint? Like Pablo? Or no, not really?
Nah.
Okay.
I feel good, though.
Yeah, it's a good day, man. It's the holiday season.
Yeah.
It's feeling good out there. We got another special guest in the building.
Oh, wait, how was your thing? The jump?
Oh, yeah, man. So if I sound like I'm struggling right now, it's because I am. We celebrated a birthday party. And it was at Spider Monkey. This one's free. It was a trampoline place where they got like the American Ninja Warrior type jig, and we were like drinking apple juice that wasn't apple juice. It was lots of Hennessy, and we was falling, and we got hurt a lot, and
Sounds
it was
like
fun.
Kind of apple juice.
Yeah, but my body hurts, man. My soul hurts.
That wasn't a kid's party?
It definitely was not a kid's party.
You snapped something. I saw someone's legs like 20 feet in the air. Was that really a person, or you just...
Niggas was drunk. So if it was, we didn't say that. He was on his own.
You said this dude was wilding, and all I saw was like 40 feet in the air was just like a pair of feet just dangling.
It's fun though, man. Which brings me to this topic. Like adults, y'all got to find fun stuff to do sometimes. Cause that was cool. Just get all your friends and go jump on trampolines. That type of stuff is fun, man.
Yeah, I was just rubbing shoulders with all the people in the club last night. So
yeah. Anyways, what else is going on in the world, bro?
Let's see. What do we want to cover? Let's do our recap real quick.
Okay.
Recently, Nipsey Hussle signed with Atlantic Records.
How you feel about that?
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's only so much that you can do independently.
Right.
And I think that having a label behind you, I know Jay-Z said y'all still signing deals for real.
Still.
But
I think it depends on the type of deal, though. Was it like a partnership, or was it a distribution deal, or was it a deal?
I don't think the details are out about it just yet. So we shall find out. And this was also coming from a rapper who owns a label,
yeah,
and signs artists to his label.
So it's a smart business move.
So,
and if you heard one of our previous episodes with our man Drew Grant from Atlantic,
yeah,
it makes you look at things a little differently from that side. So I don't know, get your money, Nip.
Yeah, especially having
Nip the crib,
having a company that invests in you, and and instead of being regionally known or nationally known, take you to that international.
Sometimes you just need that monster behind you. Anybody that wants to sponsor Life is Dope podcast, and it takes you to that next. It takes you to that next level for real.
Yeah, maybe we'll see Nipsey in some Target commercials, or
I don't want to see that,
or Sprite.
And then they got to turn the Target logo blue. I don't want to see that shit.
All right.
Nah, stick to Reebok's classics and shit.
Ooh, the Avengers Infinity Wars trailer. How do you feel about that?
Nerd moment. I watched that trailer like 17 times. That trailer was better than the Justice League movie.
The whole movie?
Yes, the trailer was better than the Justice League movie.
See, we were having this debate offline, and listen.
Just for y'all don't know, before he talks, if you never really listen to us or know us, we're kind of some nerds, low key.
Yeah.
I'm a gangster. I'll still clap your ass. But I like cartoons and shit too. But yeah, tell them what we were arguing about, so everybody.
I was gonna say, how Graffiti is a gangbanger and a nerd like that. Well, not gangbanger.
Yeah, come on, allegedly.
Gangster.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Don't say banger.
He don't be banging. He's just
yeah,
honorary.
Yeah, honorary. But go ahead, bro.
But we were having this debate about Gal Gadot being Wonder Woman.
Yeah. So check this out. How can I say this non-offensively? I had a list.
I don't think you can.
Yeah, I can't, so I probably won't say it. But I had a list of reasons why the Justice League was just okay. I liked it, but Ben Affleck is really weenie, and he should not be Batman because he just looks so stressed out all the time. His face is just naturally stressed. When I see Batman, I want to see wealth and power. This nigga's just a drunk.
But he's the older Batman. He's the older Batman.
I don't want that Batman, man. I want Dark Knight got us spoiled.
Yeah, he's not Dark Knight Batman. He's like Dark Knight Returns.
But even when he's not Batman, he's Ben Affleck. I didn't even see Bruce Wayne. I seen Ben Affleck. I want to see that shit. And so there's that. And then there was the fact that Aquaman had to be overly macho because we know Aquaman is this is the part where it gets offensive. Shout out to all my people out there. Aquaman is naturally the gayest superhero that was ever invented. So they had to make this nigga super Spartan, Aquaman. And I get that he's like badass. I get that, but come on.
But here's the thing: it was the '70s when they made like a lot of these characters, so of course they were all kind of corny.
Yeah, but nah. I mean, Aquaman, bruh. You talk to fishes and like you Aquaman. Come on, you're a mermaid.
But it's also what's his name, Jason Momoa.
Yeah, so like that's what I'm saying.
So
like the whole movie,
you have to capitalize on the fact that the dude is just. He's buff. He has long
whole
hair.
movie though, like every time they show, bro, it was slow motion.
I don't know if they made his eyes extra green for the movie.
Man, is this nigga Fabio? What are y'all doing, bro? I was mad uncomfortable.
They have to appeal to the female audience or male audience that like men audience.
Oh man, I didn't get it. And then the Flash was cool, but he really felt like Peter Parker to me.
Why was this nigga tripping so much?
He was on acid. That's why he was moving so fast.
No, not tripping, but like tripping, like physically, like tripping over his own.
Oh yeah, because they try to make him like the relatable character, and that shit was weenie. What else was weenie about that one? Oh yeah, so Cyborg, like the brother in the movie, was like mad serious.
He was dope.
He was dope, but he was like mad serious. Like, brothers is funny. Like, let him be a little funny. They didn't want him to be funny. But don't get me wrong, the movie was cool. Y'all probably seen it by now, but. And then there was reasons why I think there should be a different Wonder Woman, but I'm gonna leave that alone.
The CGI was crazy, like
not
crazy good.
How you feel about Wonder Woman? We'll let you discuss it.
You know, I think that
women love
no Gal Gadot slander shall be tolerated in my presence.
So Gal Gadot, for y'all that don't know, she's the one that's Wonder Woman, the actress. I said if you're going to be Wonder Woman, some of your physical features need to be enhanced a little bit because you're a big ass Amazonian.
She's 5'10".
I know, bro, but don't make me say what I said in our chat.
That she wasn't buff enough.
I didn't say buff, but
muscular.
Y'all get what I'm getting at. There are just certain features that should have been a little bit bigger because you're Wonder Woman. Yeah, I mean, like you're Wonder Woman. Like, goddamn.
Oh, you was talking about? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, I'm not getting slandered.
That's not. But that doesn't mean like just because you're a superhero, you don't have to have
super titties.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all got it now. I don't know, but she's Wonder Woman.
What else is going on? We didn't even talk about Infinity War.
That's what we're supposed to be talking about.
Yo, that trailer was so lit.
Yeah, man. I'm ready for Black Panther though.
Take all my money.
Y'all excited to see Black Panther?
Yes.
Cool.
For the culture.
We losing the culture right now. Listen, what else is going on? Like, this nigga said Wonder Woman needed bigger titties.
Arguing over Gal Gadot.
Yeah, we losing it. What else is going on?
Man, I just want to talk about this trailer.
What's the dopest part about that trailer?
Do you think they're going? Who do you think they're going to kill off?
I hope they kill Captain America.
Because I hear they killing off like.
Hey, that'd be a wild statement to the world if they killed Captain America in this time of crisis. That shit'd be wild.
I don't know if I want to entertain.
That'd be a statement, and then Black Panther take a knee in the movie. Knee over Captain America's shield. Yo, Marvel cut a check.
Oh
That'd be a statement. Spike Lee hop on that shit. What happened?
Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Tallahassee Coates.
That's our producer Julius.
That's the dude who writes Black Panther.
Oh yeah. They gotta all take a knee in that movie. Are we off kneeing? We don't do that no more.
Are we still kneeing?
We done?
Are we done?
Brandon said nah.
Oh yeah, Brandon Marshall said they still.
Oh yeah. Okay, well, hey,
that's what we doing.
Hey, B. Marsh is the Colorado ambassador for taking the knees.
Yeah, so we gotta rock with whatever he's doing. Cool, man. What else is going on in the world so we can get to our guest? Because I'm sure she got some things to say about these things.
Yo, shout out to I'll never say this, but shout out to Applebee's. I see y'all doing this $1 Long Island. Listen, that takes me back.
Oh, see,
yep. Now, what do you think about that?
I try to stay away from Long Islands, and making them $1 is not a good thing.
Yeah, that was back when I was like 23 and just getting
$1 Long Island, but it's Applebee's though.
And now that I'm 25, like I just can't.
You 25?
Yeah.
Yep.
Industry age.
We just passed it up. Are they the ones that did the dollar margaritas?
Yeah.
Those is trash.
The wateritas?
Those are trash. So if it's just not a strong island, I don't even want it.
I mean, it's probably not going to be a strong island. It's probably just going to be like some Coke and some...
Water.
Coke water and a splash of...
rubbing alcohol.
Sky vodka.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Applebee's. Cut us a check or something. Hey, what else we got?
Anyway, it's still lit. T-Pain.
All right. Hold up. Let's introduce the guest so she can get in on this comment. All right. So we got a special guest in the building today. A very special guest.
Yeah. Emmy Award winning journalist.
Hold on, rewind. Emmy Award winning
Emmy
journalist.
Not Never mind. Whoever I was gonna, I'm not.
He was about to diss somebody for no reason. Yeah, bro.
My bad.
Let's not do that. But Emmy Award winning journalist. She does so much for media and in the community. Let's go ahead and give it up for Gabriel Bryant.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you guys.
Oh yeah,
I
no
appreciate
doubt,
it.
no doubt. So for the people who don't know, who are you and what do you do?
So, like you said, my name is Gabrielle Bryant. I'm an Emmy Award-winning producer.
Ooh.
And I've been a journalist for about 5 or so years. I'm a Denver native. And I love everything about producing and telling stories and, helping other people heal through the power of storytelling.
Okay. So why did you win that Emmy?
So I won the Emmy for a show that I work on every week called Colorado Inside Out. It's a public affairs program that invites journalists, former legislators, political analysts to talk about the news topics of the week. It's been on for 25 years, so that's super historical. And so it's the longest running television show in Colorado.
Wow.
So we won that for a special edition. We do every year a time machine episode where we do this show in the same format, but we take it back to some year. I think the year we won was 1916. So
wow.
It's interesting. It's fun because I get into politics, and it helped to expose me to a world that I didn't really know much about before.
Nice. 25 years. That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I've been producing the show for about 5 years.
Wow.
It's cool because people, wouldn't really know that I'm the voice behind the show in a way. I write the content for the show. I book the guests for the show, and then I do the day of producing. So I don't host it, but it is like my baby.
Yeah. How did that come about? Like, how did the opportunity?
So the show airs on Colorado Public Television, which is one of the PBS stations in town. And I have been working at PBS. I've been there since 2010. And so through one of the many things that I produced, that was one of the shows that I happened to work on.
Wow.
So I still produce that too. Yeah.
And I know that one of the things that the administration had taken shots at was like PBS and public television and talking about how they shouldn't spend money on that. Why is PBS relevant? Why is it necessary?
I think PBS is always relevant because it babysits a lot of people's kids for one, and it's really good content. It allows for the community to get a different perspective that isn't normally covered on commercial television. And PBS is dope. For me, it was a space where I was able to try a bunch of different things creatively, invite guests that I wouldn't have been able to normally. I think PBS, you need that in the media landscape, especially because mainstream media is shrinking. So the more voices that you have, it creates a better space for more dialogue and, just to expand our minds.
Yeah. And growing up, I didn't have cable, so PBS was lit.
Right?
And Arthur.
Arthur was my show. Magic School Bus, Big Red Dog.
All the Arthur memes. That was PBS.
That was PBS. I remember that was a big deal because it's like, man, y'all trying to kill Big Bird?
That's crazy.
What did Big Bird ever do to you?
Right.
Yeah, so Sesame Street's not on PBS anymore, right?
I don't know.
You know what?
I think
is
HBO,
it HBO? That's what I
picked it
thought.
up.
Yeah.
I thought I was bugging. I was like, why is Sesame Street on HBO of all
I
channels?
know, that's weird.
Like, ain't that Taxi Cab Confessions?
Among
Like,
other
y'all gonna
things.
put those on the same
Right.
on the same channel?
HBO also has kids programming.
They do.
But they ain't PBS.
They ain't PBS.
So
Yeah.
until HBO cut that check.
Yeah, man. So shouts to PBS, man. We need
is a
y'all in the
staple
community.
for sure.
Word. So how long have you been in the journalism media game?
So I got my degree in broadcast journalism and sociology from Metro, the Metropolitan State University of Denver in 2010.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm
Flex
saying?
on them a little bit.
Metropolitan. It's no Harvard, but so pretty much as soon as I graduated, I started doing an internship with I'd like to call her a journalism legend here, Tamara Banks, who was on Channel 2 and Channel 31. I used to watch her when I was a kid. I reached out to her once I graduated, told her that I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, but here's some things that I want to try to accomplish. And so she brought me in to PBS, and I just never left until earlier this year.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Nice. Now, what drove that passion? Like, with you're a little girl and you just decided, like, I like to write about things that are happening, or how did that happen?
I'm so glad you asked me that. I like kind of telling this because I knew I was going to be a journalist from the time I was a little girl, I remember...
Is it because you're nosy?
and like to talk a lot, and really good at writing too. But yeah, my family used to always say I talk too much. That's why they call me Gabby. I still talk a lot. But yeah, I remember seeing myself on the news a couple times from, I don't know, Take Your Daughter to Work Day one day. I was on the cover of USA Today when I was a kid. And Dan Rather visited my school, McGlone Elementary,
Nice.
in like the 5th grade, and I got to give him a tour of the school. And I was like all over the news. So when I was a kid, it was more like I was attracted to the attention that I got. I didn't really realize what journalism was. And in fact, I always thought I was going to be a news anchor, and I would show up to work and get my makeup and hair done every day. And it was just going to be awesome. So it started off like that. And then as I got older, I was like, oh, I'm a really good writer and I can listen really well. And I just always knew I was going to be a journalist. I used to think I was going to be on BET like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like I was going to be a VJ.
On beats, like Cedar's
Or
World.
like MTV or something like that.
Yo,
It's going to be Cedar's World.
shout out to Cedar's World. What's she doing now?
I'm pretty sure she was a cartoon.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, the person that did her voice is a real person. Nigga, you know what I'm saying?
What's the cartoon doing that?
Chilling
Like her
with-
back in.
Chilling with Arthur.
Right. Being a meme. Cedar's World, nah. I could see you on BT back then. Not now.
That's what I was thinking, yeah, that I was going to end up doing like entertainment, which I still do a bit of entertainment, but I'm more focused on the community at this point.
Okay, why? I mean, not why.
Why the
but
community?
You know what I mean? Like,
Would you-
what made you take that route over the entertainment route?
Well, I think maybe a part of it was being at PBS. I mean, we did a lot of community-based content, and it just kind of made sense. And then I'm active in my community. I care about what happens around me, and I realized that there's a lot of my peers who aren't informed about a lot of issues. And so I feel like if I'm able to, it isn't that bad now because we're older, but you know, I feel like if I can be that voice and I can be that, you know, liaison, then I can try to lead people.
Right. Okay. And you're doing it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
Nice.
trying a little bit. I'm trying.
So in terms of news stories, was there anything that stuck out in your life growing up, or something that really inspired you, or any sort of topic that was covered?
That inspired me to want to do journalism? Mm-hmm. Not really, because like I said, it started off as more like a glamorizing type thing. It was glamorized to me, and I thought that it was going to be something totally different than what it was. And I thought I was going to be making a lot of money, and I'm not. But I love this field, and so I'm going to keep doing it. So I don't have a specific story that I can point back to. But
Okay. So speaking back on the community, we are in Denver, and specifically we are in the Rhino District right now recording this podcast. Mm-hmm. And not too long ago, this specific area was kind of blown up in the media for an event that happened at Ink Coffee Shop, where they put up a very dumb sign. What did it say? Happily gentrifying the neighborhood for 14
since 2014.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't
Nothing
know
says
what they were
gentrification
thinking.
like a cortado.
Yeah.
Right.
Some bullshit.
So we have type feels about the word gentrification and just the overall vibe of that. Where do you sit with this whole situation in Denver right now?
I have lots of thoughts about that. So first of all, I used to be a barista.
Okay.
I was a barista for like 3 or so years at Coffee at the Point, which is, you know, a premier
Coffee at
coffee
the
shop.
Point.
Yeah.
shout
And I
out to
liked,
them.
you know, I love
Culture.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yeah. We didn't even say this one's free because we love y'all.
And so I have, you know, just even thinking about even putting a space like Ink Coffee across the street from Crema, which a lot of people hadn't really visited Crema, but you know that it's not Ink. You know, it's not like that corporate type feel.
Yeah.
And so I have a special connection to the coffee world in terms of, you know, just supporting local business. When it comes to gentrification, I think this particular sign, it isn't, I mean, they just said what is already happening.
Right.
So it isn't like this is a new thing, and I understand why everyone is so upset. I understand that we do need to protest to bring awareness, if anything else. It may not necessarily change anything. I know that some of the groups that are protesting are demanding things from Ink Coffee, like, you know, you need to take a certain amount of money and give back to the community, or, you know, I know Councilman Albus Brooks is going to require them to do some diversity training and sensitivity training and stuff like that. Yeah. But to me, I think we should be focusing our attention on how do we empower the communities that are impacted by gentrification so that this does not continue to happen to us.
Right.
So instead of, being reactive and getting upset when things like this start to happen, or it becomes more evident, or they just don't care, because obviously they don't care. They even they said it was a joke. Like, that's not a joke in any way. So go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, and when gentrification doesn't impact you, it is a joke to you.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And I was a product of the classic style of gentrification. Like, I rented a place on 26th and Downing it was a series of duplexes that was owned by a black man. It had been in his family for over 50 years. He sold the place to a white developer who came in and kind of bought us all out of our leases, and we had to go. And I ended up in Aurora. So I have felt the impacts of gentrification specifically. But the thing is, with 5 Points / Rhino, 5 Points specifically, especially on Welton Street, which is where I'm most, I guess, familiar. There's still a lot of black business owners and people who still own spaces there, and there are still some black and Hispanic people there. But if you really think about it, black people moved out of 5 Points a long time ago, because it was like crazy down there, and they wanted to be in a space where, places like Green Valley Ranch or Aurora, where they could have land and, advance themselves. So I'm kind of the mindset of, how can we really be upset about what's happening when we're not doing anything to stop it? We're not doing anything to impact our communities, and we don't care about it until somebody else comes and fixes it up. Then we're like, oh, what's happening? I mean, honestly, I've been working in 5 Points since 2010. And it hasn't, I know people describe it as changing drastically. It hasn't changed that much. But you have families that walk down the street. It's not black families, or it's not Hispanic families necessarily, but there's families walking down the street. They're actually cleaning the street.
Right.
I think it's dope because you have that juxtaposition. Like, you still have the hustlers out there, like, shooting craps in the summertime. Like, there's still, Crips chilling outside the convenience store. And then, I don't want to be the person to say that gentrification is good, and that's not necessarily what I'm saying, but redevelopment and developing neighborhoods that have been dormant is not necessarily all the way a bad thing. If you can remember and maintain and embrace the history that was there and help the people that are there, because developers they got plenty of money. It's just like a social thing that they're just ignoring.
And I agree 100%, and that's kind of my conflict when people get on the whole boycott and protest and all that, because there's been this confusion with community and culture, and then the actual business side, and like you say, redevelopment. I get like that side of things. You're being displaced, or the people that can't afford to live in this neighborhood. I get that side. That's the terrible side. But when people are like, oh, we got to boycott Rhino, let's not call it Rhino, this is going to be the East Side forever, and they skip over the fact that there's culture here. Like, look at what we're doing right now, right where we are. You know what I mean? Like, we're not gentrifying nothing. So you want to get us out of here because of that. And I think there's just this disconnect in communication, and people don't realize that we can all help to grow this area together. Like, the hood doesn't need to be the hood forever. You know what I mean? Like, I go anywhere in the city, and like you said, back then it's like, I ain't trying to be in the 5 Points unless I need to be. You know what I mean? So we need to say that, though, because people just want to shy away from that, especially our people. Like, you can't speak against it, but it's the truth. Like,
well, I'm from Montbello, and so like coming to the East Side was like, we did not come to the East Side unless we were playing Manual High School, and we would leave after that because it was not really safe. But I understand what it feels like to get, to feel left behind, and I think that's what's happening, is that we're being left behind.
But I think you're gonna get left behind unless you figure out how to move forward. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to be stuck, then you're gonna be stuck. And it's like, when it comes to like some of these businesses, you get these mom and pop and black owned businesses, and they're in a position to make a difference. And not speaking on all of them, but specific ones, you'll get bad service, or they'll bring a crowd that's not necessarily the safest crowd, and they know they're catering to that crowd, and it's turning away your own people because we don't even want to be around that shit. So what do you think the city is looking at?
That's rough.
You know what I mean?
That's a dilemma.
It's something that's twofold, and even Graffiti and I, we were talking about this before. It's about being able to get people of color involved and getting black and brown people involved, so that you're not having these spaces that are just high concentrated black spaces or high concentrated Latino spaces, and really just taking the audience in the community and spreading it around. So letting people know that, hey, you know, Rhino is for everybody, not just Rhino and then Cold Crush, or Rhino and then Meadowlark, or Rhino and then, you know, one particular space. And then I think as everyone feels a part of the community, then you don't really have anyone that feels left behind or feels left out. So so for one, we have to, I think as a community, we have to, one, not be afraid of venturing out to different places, and then we also have to either let businesses know or teach businesses that it is okay to have black consumers and Hispanic consumers and people of different nationalities, you know, instead of trying to exclude everybody.
Yeah.
I wonder how easy that is, just because Denver's population of blacks is only 10%.
Right.
And so we're so spread out. I wonder how easy that is to do.
Well,
it should be easy, because at the end of the day, even though we're spread out, we all congregate to specific areas, because we know that there's some bars or some venues that don't cater to us or don't want us there. So we go where we're wanted.
Right, which is tragic that Cold Crush closed.
Yeah,
right.
It's kind of tragic for the culture, honestly. Because where do you guys go now?
Well, see, that's the thing, and that's kind of what we're saying is, like, there's so many different things to do. It's just like in this area, we just hang out, we'll go around, and there's so many different little hidden jewels. And once we get in there and we really hang out and we get to know the owners and the people that work there, it's not that they don't want black people or they don't want hip hop, because I mean that's all they play.
Right.
In this whole area. You can go to the whitest of white spots and it's all hip hop. It's not that they don't want that, it's the disconnect of them not knowing how to translate to that crowd.
Right.
You know, when you're in the urban crowd, you know how to translate to urban people. So, like, Cold Crush attracted black people because it was black owned. You know what I mean? These people out here, and we know this from specific conversations, it's just like, it's not that we don't want you guys, it's that you guys don't think that you can come here.
Right.
And we, you know, mentally, you're just like, we ain't supposed to be in there.
It's a perpetual cycle. I mean, we think we can't come there, and then there's somewhere we think that we can go there, and turns out we can't.
Yeah, and that's just speaking on this specific district, because I mean, in all reality, like when you start moving a little bit more downtown, when you hit the market streets and all that, there's definitely those spots where it's like clear that we don't want y'all here, and that's known, especially in the entertainment district. But when it comes to like a Rhino district and the 5 Points community, which was historically black, like, I don't think you should ever feel like you're being moved out of your home.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah, that's happening, and it's a wrap. Kind of on 5 Points, we lost it. It's
Yeah.
done. There's a sushi spot there.
But gentrification isn't going anywhere. So
Correct.
So what we need to focus on now is
how we can get the bag with them.
Exactly.
We can't go back. We can only go forward.
And instead of also like complaining about these spots, like all the hustlers who got money, like, let's put that money together and like
buy up your neighborhood.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's
Jay-Z
buy
said.
up the neighborhood. Like, that's what we really should have done. But
That's what we need to do. That's what we still can do.
Yes.
But, yeah.
We can come together collectively and put money together. Actually, there's a couple organizations and a couple folks that are around that are doing that. And so, yeah.
Definitely.
Solutions only.
That's what I'm talking about. Solutions.
Solutions
So
only.
besides journalism, what are some of your other hobbies? So I've read that you like to sing and just engage in all things artistic.
Oh, yes. I love all things artistic. So because of my connection to media, I've been able to go to a lot of free shows at the Denver Center for Performing Arts. So I try to get to at least one musical a month if I can. I'm always hitting up the art museum. Anything that's artistic, I'm down for. I mentioned before we started that I also like to sing. I sing in church. So that's just something that kind of gets my creative juices
Sing
flowing.
some.
Yeah, so I'm into all things art. I actually saw Chicago, the musical, last week, which was interesting. I'm always looking at diversity in those spaces, too.
I saw Chirac. Is it like that?
That's the worst musical in life.
It's not.
Was Chirac a musical?
I think it was. Without
That
music.
movie was
Cannon?
trash.
It was
Did
super
you like
trash.
that movie?
I think it was a long poem because everything rhymed.
I did not like that movie.
It took me like to the end of the movie to realize, yo, everything rhymes.
It was a hip-hop.
Go back and watch
Did
it.
it? I
Don't
need
go
to-
back and watch the shit.
I need to watch it again.
Yeah.
Support black movies.
Don't
So- I'm
support
sorry,
Chirac.
okay.
Don't support Chirac.
I'm sorry. It just wasn't a good film.
Yeah. Support good black movies. choice.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Do you ever see yourself in a musical? Do you want to do that?
Ooh, no one's ever asked.
Put it
me
out
that.
there now.
But I could so do that. If anybody is looking for, also I'm looking to be a backup singer. If anybody needs that, like I'm all down for all that. Any type of performance stuff.
Word.
Speaking of music, T-Pain.
Yeah.
Johnny.
Let me buy you.
All right, so let's talk about it.
Ruining our childhood songs.
Why would he do that?
Why you do that to us, y'all? So
don't
what are we
understand.
talking about?
So we're talking about buy you a drink, buy you a drink.
Yeah.
And that part where it's like, I'm gonna buy you a drink, and we all thought it was, I'm gonna take you home with me.
You can
Right.
sing it, bro. I'm gonna buy you a drink.
But he said,
But
I'm gonna take you home with me.
yeah, but the nigga's not saying.
he said,
he said, and then.
and
Wait,
then,
how does how does it sound like if you say it and then?
Wait, let
I
me
don't
see-
know,
let me-
and that's what's bugging me out. Even when I listen to it, I'm like, whoa, that is what he's saying. I don't know how to say it like that though.
Let me see if I can find it. I don't know how much of it
Oh, I
we
see it now.
could play,
I got it.
but
This music does not belong to us for copyright reasons. He's saying "ooh wee" in my head.
yeah, just keep talking. I'm gonna find
So
it.
do you like if you come across a song and you you finally see the words? Do you try to change the words to match what, or you just keep singing the wrong
I
words?
keep singing the wrong words, but mentally it's like I'm not saying the right words.
Right. Hey.
Let's see. Wait, let's skip ahead.
Uh-oh.
Wait.
He got a lot of ooh wees in there though.
Oh,
That was it. It's after the buy you a drink part. Okay.
man, how much of this can we play without?
just play that part, man. We already did the
Wait.
Oh.
See, here it is. Oh, damn, you magician, you.
You hit the
What's
high
wrong with
note,
us
right?
then? Why we all? That's the Mandela effect. Why we all think y'all know what the Mandela effect is?
No, what's that? You got to
haven't
school
heard
me.
that.
School me, brother.
Come on, brothers and sisters.
Teach these
Google, I need
devils.
the Google.
Teachable moment. All right, so check this out. I'm gonna blow your mind. So it's called the Mandela effect, right? Because it's when a situation happens that everyone swears happened, but it did not happen. But since you believe it's real, you can't unbelieve that it didn't happen. And they call it the Mandela effect because
We believe that Mandela went to prison, but he really didn't.
no, close. But a mass majority of the world remembers Mandela dying in prison in the 90s. Like, you ask somebody and they'll tell you the story.
Yeah.
Like, it was on the news. It was all kind of a big story. So it was fake news before fake news was a thing.
Right.
Oh.
But mentally, a lot of people didn't realize that didn't really happen. And so people thought Mandela died back then. And so it's called the Mandela effect.
What happened when he just died?
Example, though. Right. So now it's like, well,
So-
fuck, he was
oh,
already
I guess-
dead.
Okay.
But like if you look it up online, there's like conspiracy theorists that like really have an explanation for that. They're saying like it's when you're living in a parallel universe, like something happened in history to change the future on some butterfly effect type shit.
What?
Yeah, it's like
I'ma
the
start
rabbit
using
hole
that.
gets deep. Yo, look it up, Mandela
The
effect.
Mandela effect.
But example of that, and it's about to bug y'all out. So you know the Bernstein Bears.
Yes.
How do you spell Bernstein, you guys?
You know, I'm
Isn't it
Fuck it up.
or the Steen part at the end, how you spell it.
It's like
STEIN?
STEIN?
Word. That's what everybody thinks. We're wrong. It's STAIN.
What?
Yes.
Google?
But when you Google and you go look at a book, you're like, oh shit. But in your brain, you've always,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can see that. I'm gonna start
Mandela
using
effect.
that.
Berenstain.
I like that.
Because we ain't never called no damn
I
Bernstein.
think Bernstein.
Bernstein Bears.
We left out a whole lot of vowels
Mandela
in-
effect.
and Bernstein. It was like 2 E's.
Get up on. I'll put y'all up on something.
I like
Mandela
that.
effect.
Yeah. I
It's
haven't heard
trippy
of that
though, like,
before.
but if you really look into it, like, people got like real thesis about why this happens. Like, somebody stepped on a butterfly and it changed history, and some of us still remember the way things used to be, type shit.
I mean, I have heard of false memory syndrome, where you just have these memories that did not happen. And I think there was like this documentary that was talking about this this girl who, as a child, she was like sexually assaulted by like her uncle or someone that was really close to her, and had like testified and everything, and
So she truly
And-
believed it happened.
but it didn't happen. she had a false memory of it happening, and I think it was because when she went to go see like a psychiatrist, and just talking with her psychiatrist was basically making her remember an alternate version of
hypnosis.
I don't even think it was hypnosis. I think it was just, you know how when you talk about things with people and then you start remembering, but then it may not have been what had actually happened.
Yeah, it's like nobody believes me when I told them I kicked Chuck Norris. I did. I did. And they be like, man, you just making it up. You've been saying it so long, you believe it's true. I kicked Chuck Norris.
Because at the end of the day, what are memories for real? It's thoughts.
We getting trippy, man. We ain't even high.
Oh, I know.
What are memories for real?
I don't know.
It's something that you just think you know.
You think you know. So if you think you know something and you truly believe in your heart you know it, is it the truth?
This makes me feel a lot better about forgetting a lot of things that forgetting most of my childhood.
You don't remember your childhood?
Not a lot of it. I don't remember a lot of my life just because
Really?
I drink a lot.
Okay.
Drink a lot.
Let's
Smoked a lot when I was like in high school.
No, that'll do it.
Yeah, so I forgot about a lot of stuff. My friends will be like, don't you remember this happening? I'm like, I literally don't remember that happening or that
You
person.
fried your brain cells, Craig.
So
Early on.
So you okay with not remembering your childhood? Or
Yeah,
is it
totally fine with that.
okay?
Is this a therapeutic moment we're about to have?
I'll try not to cry. You guys got some tissues?
Like, I don't remember it.
You do?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember some of it.
A lot of
but-
Sega.
Yeah. I don't remember turning 17. And I told my mom about that. I was like, do we have a 17th birthday? And then she don't remember that shit either. So I don't think I ever officially turned 17, which is why I still think I'm 29.
You know, school helped me remember.
I don't know where any of this is going, but
School helped me.
I know,
food for
right?
thought.
I didn't, you know, like...
We just talking about
We just talking.
Right.
School helped me remember a lot of my childhood because there was always just something that just happened every year, or I remember each
Tie it back to that.
teacher each year. So I remember that, but after no, I still remember.
But while we're on memories, what's one of your most memorable moments so far in your industry? Was it the Emmy?
Yes, actually.
Did you go to the award show?
I did. And so they have a local,
Flex.
but they have, a regional awards or whatever.
Okay.
And I actually remember sitting there, like, trying to talk myself out of it because I didn't want to I tried to talk myself out of the fact that I could potentially win because I wanted to set myself up in case we didn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, telling the person next to me, like, I already know we were actually up for 2 Emmys.
Ooh.
And I was like, I know we're not gonna win. And they called her name and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
That's tight.
Yeah, it was awesome. It's pretty dope.
That's tight.
But it's an Emmy, but I would prefer that people recognize me for the work and the impact that I have in the community versus stuff
Right.
like that. Because that's not real. I mean, it's just,
Right.
yeah.
So do you feel like you need to, or would you like to be more of a physical face on the work that you put together? You know what I mean? More so than behind the scenes?
Well, I still have opportunities to do that. So not necessarily. I have 2 shows that I produce for PBS. One of them's called Glimpse that's going to start airing in January.
Mm-hmm.
I actually interviewed John McCaskill of Megafauna for that.
Oh, shout out to
Hey.
Megafauna. We out here.
And yeah, so that, and then another series I have called The New Black Experience. So I'm able to kind of put
the
my
New
face
Black
out there.
Experience is dope.
Thank you.
I'm a fan.
Thank you. I'll shooting some more episodes of that in January for release in February. So
Word. Cool.
Ooh, do we want to talk about the tax bill that was recently passed, or
I have no clue.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, man.
you don't know anything about it?
I'm uneducated.
I
in this
unfortunately haven't done enough research yet to
Yeah.
even speak intelligently about it.
Guess what? No one's done any research on this tax bill. So how the hell
And
did
it's
it
about to
pass?
go to the president's desk. That's
All we know
crazy.
is that it's 500 pages.
It's fucked up.
Who knows what they put
Passed
in there?
overnight.
Not even 5. It's 500 pages with written down revisions on it. So, and some of that shit's written in cursive, so some people couldn't even read it.
People born
Is
after a
this
certain year.
Is this what we become? Is this America? You know what I mean? Like, is this what we doing now? It's just whatever. It's a free for all in the White House.
And I think the Democrats
yeah.
had filed a motion for like recess or something to extend the time to be able to just look over everything, and they denied it.
Several Congress people streamed themselves live
Wow.
trying to read it during the recess. and didn't have enough time to read it.
Wow.
And they still voted on
They
it.
still voted on it. Still lasted.
They had like an hour to read it.
They're going to
to
do
read
what they want to
500
do regardless. Okay.
I mean, to be honest, like that's kind of the least of our worries.
Big
In
facts.
that,
What else did they put in there?
well, I guess I'm more so concerned about
When this
the
bomb about to drop.
imminent war.
Yeah.
I mean, it's imminent at this point.
Yeah, if we want to go to that extreme.
Sorry. Okay.
No, you're right though. I
Sorry.
be
I'm
looking
saying
up.
like that's one of the things that I'm more concerned about. Like I keep getting these notifications from the Washington Post and just knowing that a missile can reach over here. It's kind of crazy, and this is like the time when it probably could definitely happen because our president is like.
Yeah. My only thing with that, man, like the only hope I have for humanity in that regard is that we got a hell of an army. Now, if we just get blasted out of nowhere, that's one thing. But I'm trying to leave hope in the fact that we got a military for a reason. But aside from that,
What if you get drafted?
fuck, I won't get drafted.
You can't.
I mean, I'm not going to jail. I mean, I'll go to jail before I go to
you get
military.
drafted.
I mean, even though
I want to see all my friends. Yeah, remember that movie?
I was like, what is that?
Take me to jail.
Oh, wait.
No, fuck that. I mean, shouts to our troops, but I'm not with the shits.
Right.
And I would hate to see them drop a bomb on our most coveted city, Toledo, Ohio. That would be crazy. if they drop it there, that would totally impact our economy.
That's all our listeners overseas. Don't be listening to the shit we be talking
Like,
about.
what is happening right now?
Just pass that up. What about internet?
That'll cripple us if they.
What about something really serious, guys?
Okay.
Internet. What's the word? Neutrality.
Oh, net neutrality.
Net neutrality.
Okay.
Why? Oh my gosh.
So
It's all going to
can you
hell
guys
in a
put
handbasket.
me up on game? Because I haven't
yeah.
researched it yet either.
So the Congress repealed the Net Neutrality Act, and net neutrality is what basically allows ISPs to
Internet service providers, guys.
stream or funnel all of the bandwidth equally.
Right.
For
like
whether it's social media, whether it's streaming services like Netflix or Hulu, whether it's
They all get an equal portion.
yeah.
Like even like if I wanted to start a website, we all get the same amount, but
Right.
then they're going to change it. And okay.
Yeah.
And what we could potentially be looking at is having an internet package based on what you need it for. So having an internet package for streaming music or for Netflix or for social media or for certain websites. And the potential downfall of that is that some people, whatever companies have more money will obviously get more exposure.
And they control the internet, basically.
Yeah.
So once the government and major media purchases everything and you have to get this package that we can't afford, then they control what we see via internet. Which they already do, but they blatantly do it.
And they can toggle the internet speed. So if you have Netflix, so maybe your internet speed is going to be slower than if you're streaming
CNBC.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It
To
totally
force
change
their
the way
news
we
upon us.
consume internet and consume media. Because I don't even, at this point, I'm not really even watching TV at all.
Yeah.
Like I'm just getting all my stuff online. So
I look at it as a way to put a threshold on social media, because right now social media is the voice of our generation, and we really make a difference via social media. So once they can cap that some kind of way, like they know my big mouth ass can't afford this package, so I got to chill on my bandwidth.
that's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
You have to choose between Facebook and Twitter.
They gonna shut it all down, but it's all gonna be in the same package. All right, you get Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram,
Or you choose between YouTube or Netflix.
see that man.
Like Skype and YouTube.
They trying to hate on us, man. Our numbers is going up. They just don't fuck with our numbers, man. Let's get a nice Life is Dope package. That's all you need in your
You
life.
have to choose between email and
Regular mail,
group chat.
right?
Hashtag first world problems.
Shit, America's depressing.
This is
What's
first
happy?
world
Let's talk some happy stuff.
But real quick, this
for
is
fun?
why voting matters.
It does.
So it doesn't matter if you don't care about Hillary or if you don't care about Trump or you're just like, I'm not going to vote. No, voting matters.
No.
This is why.
This is why, but fuck them. I think locally and community-based voting matters way more.
For sure.
Extremely.
That's it
You could
right
speak
there.
on that part of it.
Yeah, so it's interesting actually. I know I have a friend who I can't remember the Colorado criminal justice reform. They just did this huge effort to increase voter turnout in Black communities, well, specifically for Blacks in Aurora, and it truly made a difference because, you know, a lot of people just were like not vote. They already weren't voting anyway,
right.
But they just really stopped voting, especially during the presidential election. I think it's super important, like voting for even city council folks and our senators who have been, I'm not sure what the term limits are for them, but they can be in office for decades.
Forever, yeah.
And we should definitely be paying attention to that. Actually produce a show for PBS called Colorado Decides, where we do debates. So we'll do the gubernatorial debate. We'll do the debates for the major Senate districts and stuff like that. And it's easy to, it's easy to get involved. It's not hard. It's like super simple. They've made it so easy. You can literally get your stuff to come to you in the house.
That's true,
like,
but I feel a type of way about those things because I really want to be more involved and educated in politics than I am. However, I find it hard to, it's not engaging to me the way I want it to be. So when I see all these signs about, city councilmen and all that, I don't know who these people are. And so I have to take it upon myself to do the research, which isn't a bad thing, but it's there's ways to get more involved and be more attractive to this generation. If you think about it, when Diddy did the
Voter Die campaign,
and then you got Rock the Vote, and you got all that type of stuff, and we young people and Black people, we see that, and in the hip hop culture, we're like, oh shit, we're gonna vote for whoever's rocking that way.
Right. So
locally, it's why don't these figures get a little more involved in the actual culture if they want to steer us that way? Because
they don't really need it.
Yeah.
They got enough votes.
Well, see, that's the problem.
But I would challenge you gentlemen to create a space where some candidates can maybe come through and talk, because you have
it's open.
Platform
is open.
You have a super vast voice and vast reach. I would challenge you guys to maybe possibly do something like that.
Politicians pull up on us.
You know what I'm saying?
Pull up on us, man, because there's people out there like me. I want to make a difference, but it's you got this many judges, you got this many, all these people do these things, and I don't know this person. Who are you?
Right.
I get what you stand for and all that, but if you come and sit how you're sitting right here, or if I see you doing interviews, or I see you physically in the community, then I'm more amped to give you my vote. Not that you need it, but now I gave you my vote, and now that's another minority that's involved, and I'm gonna push other people. So I don't know.
Well, the cool thing, especially in Denver, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but there's a group of folks called the Historic Eight, and it's comprised, I can't think of everyone's name right now, Representative Javon Melton, Representative James Coleman, Senator Angela Williams, Senator Rhonda Fields, and Representative Tony Exum.
Okay.
And these folks are it's the first time that there's been that many Black legislators in the House and Senate at a time. And they do a lot of outreach in the community. I think it's more so we have to go and search for them. The legislative session is getting ready to start. It starts, I believe, January 11th, and it goes through May. And so I think I understand what you're saying in terms of, they're not necessarily appealing to me, or they're not coming to me, or I just don't feel like I know these folks. But it is our responsibility to educate ourselves. Yeah. The problem is, I don't know if, folks were paying attention, but Amendment T that didn't pass was this clause that's currently in the Colorado Constitution that says that slavery is still legal as long as it's for punishment for a crime.
Right.
Now, the way that was written, it was super confusing. Of course, a lot of these are written pretty weird because they're written by lawyers, so it's not necessarily meant for everyday people to understand these. But that's something, we had an opportunity right there, and we failed that.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I think it just barely passed, but a lot of people didn't necessarily understand. They didn't take the time to read it, and then the folks who were putting forth the amendment didn't really have the money to promote it like they should have. But we should be paying attention, which I think this is kind of where I take responsibility, because I was even thinking I should have done more to educate people. I don't know how much that would have made a difference, but
it'll make a vast difference.
Yeah, I think I'll be more intentional about that with the upcoming election. I mean, right now, like, they're already doing debates and meetups, meet and greets. I mean, we're getting ready to elect a new governor, which is going to make a huge difference. So this is the time to pay attention because we have an election coming up. So.
Right.
Speaking of slavery, the Libya slave trade.
Oh my gosh, heartbreaking.
Yeah, man.
Reprehensible, criminal. It's crazy. People are getting they're escaping poverty and violence in their own country and going someplace to escape that and to even work, and they're getting captured. Like,
literally,
this is literally slavery. Like,
Yeah.
we're watching it happen.
In 2017, 2018.
It's scary.
And it's crazy because people be like, well, we don't have it as bad as back then. Like, nigga,
It's
still happening. Like, literally still slavery. Crazy.
It's crazy because I always think, like, what would happen if, like,
America.
that was happening
Yeah.
now? Like, if somebody just rolled up on you
Yeah.
with some firearms and was like, yo, you about to go here
Right.
right
Like,
now. You
what's
about
to
to work.
stop
What
it?
are we going to do?
Yeah. Especially since we didn't, vote against that.
Right. Literally, yo. What are we going to do?
You selling weed? You my slave now. Damn. And
It's crazy.
It's as punishment, so they could technically do it.
I
Damn,
mean,
this is somber.
it's intense.
And that's really how it got out of control to begin with, because at first it was indentured servitude. So if you owed a debt, it was generally to pay off a debt, or if you got in trouble or committed a crime, and then it just became, all right, we're gonna just capture everybody.
Yeah. So it's like, no, we're not gonna lock you up and make you go to jail and do that type of slavery. Like, you're just really gonna be a slave. We're
Like
gonna
a
sell
real
you.
life slave.
Yeah. Like
Like
shackles,
a slave
boats.
auction?
Yeah.
Like,
Bucket. But see, this is my thing about that. What can we do? And that's the fucked up part. Like, what can anybody do at this point?
I mean, it's an international issue at this point.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we can hashtag pray for Libya, but,
Nah.
I mean,
Ain't
like,
no praying, no. Stop a slave trade in Libya, or else
period.
we gonna pull up.
yeah. But, I mean, it's international.
But,
Who we gonna pull up on?
The U.S. isn't gonna intervene. Like,
Yeah.
unless there's some oil out there in Libya or something, or some regime that needs to be toppled.
Yeah. I don't know, man. The world's crazy. But life is dope. So we're going to go to something happy real quick before we wrap up, because, goddammit, now my mind hurts.
Sorry.
We ain't going to nothing happy.
We're going to some
We
happy
have to
shit
talk
today.
about this
nigga.
article real quick.
Is it happy?
Which one?
Make it happy.
No,
You
this
want to talk about the
Westward.
sex scandal?
Say it in a happy
Westward
tone.
article.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that
Which one?
ain't too bad. The Minver. Is that what it's called?
So here's the headline. I've seen this dusty ass article floating across my Facebook.
I think I saw it too. What does it say?
It says, claim Denver is USA's worst city for dating because mile-high bros are
Are
lazy.
lazy?
First of all,
Okay.
I knocked this microphone over.
Hold up.
I hella agree as a woman dating in this city. So
Wow.
please don't. Like,
Hold up.
we could go
Wow.
all day.
But before we get into all
Okay.
that,
All right, anything.
the headline of that, Mile High Bros, that lets you know where it was written from. Because who the fuck says that? Mile High Bros.
Bros.
Yeah, that was definitely
You
not
guys
us.
are bros.
But, yeah, we don't say it like that.
Okay. Bro.
Yeah, so go ahead and continue. You said it is true?
Well, what were you gonna say?
we trying to
what-
debunk the myth.
Here, I'll read some excerpts.
Okay.
Excerpts from the article. Denver's the worst city for dating in 2017 because too many mile-high city men make little or no effort when it comes to what they're doing,
True.
where they're going,
True.
how they dress,
True.
speak, or act during such outings.
Whoever wrote this was mad
I
at
know.
her, man.
Is,
that
is it a
didn't-
chick?
Aubriana
Is it a
wrote this?
woman?
Right? Was it Aubriana?
Is it a woman who wrote it?
Michael Roberts.
Oh.
So, no. In general, these
He's legit, too.
in general, these lazy slackers would just as soon hang out with their bros than treat a date like she's special.
That's hella real.
Really? I don't think so.
I'm glad
You're
I don't
not
got
a
these
woman.
Damn.
Dating bro. You're not a woman dating mile high bros.
But I'm a bro, so I would know.
problems. Bars.
So maybe you're an anomaly.
Oh, shit, this is
So
weird.
dating in Denver
Wait,
is
but
kinda
wasn't
tough.
last year in 2016, Denver was rated like the most sexually active city in the United States?
So y'all
Well,
still
can-
fucking either way.
So y'all smashing it, but y'all don't
Well,
want to date.
That's true though.
Yeah.
I don't want to have sex, but
Well, you know they
Before the
call
date.
Denver Minver.
yeah.
So there's way more men apparently here than there are women. So my theory, in talking with my lady friends,
Okay.
is that men think that they don't have to try hard because there's so many of them and they have more options. Like, and so I think
But But with that logic,
I'm gonna let Davey speak on all of this.
I don't think that logic would work, because if there are more men than women, then that would mean that.
Wait, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's the
I guess so.
That men would have to try harder.
Oh no, so it's more women than men.
Women.
There's more women than men, and so then the men don't have to try harder.
Let's look it up
Okay.
and see why do they call it Menvert?
Kyle
calls
Clark.
it Menvert?
Kyle Clark did a. I didn't even hear
Who are they
this, but
talking
Kyle
to?
Clark did a story about this on their show Next with Kyle Clark, and I was like, oh okay, I get it. But I mean, in dating here, it's kind of hard. Like, dudes don't really try that hard, and they just only want you to come to their house and kick it. I'm like,
Because we're the most
I'm
sexually
sorry.
active.
that's the reason? I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Denver,
but can
we
we do
got
something
music,
else?
we
There's
got
so
beer,
many things to do.
We got weed and we got smashing, I guess.
So here
I
we
mean-
go. Here's an article
Okay, what does it say?
written by the Westward.
Oh.
Hey, Denver singles Menvert is a thing, and 19,000 extra dudes are available. So
Oh,
so
okay.
there's more men than women.
So maybe okay, my logic doesn't work then.
So the women
So why-
don't have to try as hard.
Or they're just being
Because there's more men, so they don't have to try as hard because
Well-
they'll just go get another one.
So I think my dilemma is if I want to probably have a successful dating life, I'm going to have to date outside my race. That's the problem.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I would
Let's
love
dive
a
into that because that's going to be one of these
beautiful
moments where Facebook goes
chocolate
crazy.
man.
Yep.
Okay.
I would love a beautiful. He doesn't have to be chocolate. He could be caramel too. But yeah, I mean, I would prefer that definitely. But if I want to be successful in dating, I'm going to have to open up my net.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
I mean, it just is what it is.
So if you want to be
And plus, I'm
successful
from
in
Denver,
dating-
so honestly, I know most of the dudes here. In either I've talked to, well, I haven't talked to most of them. I've talked to some of them, or
You're about to describe that.
Hell, backpedal now. Okay,
or
wait.
I've talked, or my homegirl has talked to them.
Okay.
Like I've had plenty of situations where I was like, "Oh, I'm talking to this guy. His name is blah blah blah. He's this, this, and this." And then she's like, "Oh, I used to talk to him too." And then we're comparing stories.
So
and
you
then
and your homegirl have talked to most of the guys. Then. That's what I heard.
Can I retract that? Not
Even
most
though
of the
there's
guys.
more men than women. This is interesting.
But think about it though. That takes me back to the statistic that there's only 10%.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what a worst population is, but Denver's population is
Okay,
only
so I
black.
get it. It's kind of like what we just said with the clubs. Like, if you
Yeah.
don't want to, if you want to have fun, you got to expand your vision than more than just
Exactly.
the hood clubs.
Right.
I get
You
it.
gotta stop talking to the
That's a great
hoodies.
hot take, though.
Gotta
And
stop
shout out
talking
to
to the
black
rappers.
women marrying white men. Yeah, shout out to Meghan Markle. Oh man, the
Man,
mic. Shout out to Meghan Markle.
Go Maggie.
I see y'all out here.
She's winning. What?
Yeah.
She's about to be
Oh,
royalty.
okay, for the people like me that don't know who that is.
Marrying Prince Harry.
Okay, you should have said that. So the chick that the sister that married Prince Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're engaged. I guess she's an actor and she's a philanthropist.
So she's.
I don't know
acting
much
like
of-
she's in love.
She's
That
an
bad.
American actor.
I mean, Prince Harry's actually kind of cute. I mean, I could see that. He's
I kind of feel like I
freaking
need to sit this conversation
Prince.
out because whenever we get on racial and dating and whenever we say black women, some kind of way, I get attacked.
But we haven't
you?
said anything egregious yet.
Yeah, I haven't said shit.
What are your thoughts?
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you
I
why.
love is love.
I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, men, we've tried hard. Okay, we've been trying
I feel
hard.
a rant
okay.
coming on.
Let's
Let's lean back. Let's lean back.
We've been putting in all the effort.
It's a segment we call Davey moment.
Talk to him.
Listen, we've been putting in all the fucking effort.
No fucking effort. He's mad.
Women are so damn spoiled. All y'all have to do is just show up to Epernay. Shout out to Epernay. Y'all just show up to Epernay. Y'all get in for free. Y'all, first of all, we gotta buy. Men have to buy the VIP tables. Y'all just walk y'all ass up and then just come in VIP
And start drinking your drinks.
start drinking the drinks, knocking shit over, dancing.
Sounds accurate.
Dancing and acting. Hey, like y'all do all that shit, but we lazy. We didn't put in
You
all
did
this.
not even
we
try.
didn't put in all
The
this work.
scenario that you just gave,
This
you
is
did
so
not
personal.
try.
Y'all tried less.
You didn't even try. You literally just dropped some cash
We set
in
up
that scenario.
We set up the woman trap, and all y'all had to do was just walk into it. We had to build the
Laziest.
We had to buy the trap, build it.
When's
I
the last
said I
time?
wasn't gonna say that, but he has a point because we had to go to the barbershop, get our
Golly.
lineup. We got to buy an outfit because our dress code is way more strict than women's dress code. Y'all
And we
can
have to
remember.
compete with other guys' women trap. So we have to buy more bottles.
Yeah.
But outside of the club situation,
outside of that,
Yeah,
we still try.
where are you trying?
And everything else. I mean, do you want like specifics or?
Like, when's the last date you've gone on?
Man, you know, that's
Actual
a great question. That's a great question. Graffiti, when's the last date I've gone on, do you think?
Don't let me answer the question.
Like, I'd like to know when you've gone on a date, picked a chick up,
What's the definition of a date?
A date is like, oh, we're intentionally setting a time where we're going to do something together and we're going to be focused on each other during this time.
I don't know. I don't want to incriminate myself, but
Am I answering?
but I do.
2002.
I do when I do.
Y'all are the worst.
That's a safe answer. So when I do go on a date, I pick the lady up. I open her door for her.
So sweet.
Yeah.
He's singing some smooth R&B in her ear.
Do you?
Don't do all that crazy shit, no.
Check out this new release right here.
Yeah.
This off my new shit.
Hey.
Baby.
So you are a gentleman then.
You know, sometimes I try to be. You know, I'll pay for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
How many dinners do you pay for before she's supposed to kick in?
I don't know how many.
I don't know. I usually wait for like about the 5th one till I like volunteer to pay.
I was gonna say date 3. Is that too soon?
The 5th date?
Like, I'm saying, how does...
The 5th date? You don't know if you want to pay by the 5th date? No, date 3.
If you don't like me enough to pay, then
Why... This is the thing. Why is she expected to eventually kick in money anyway? I just do it off of GP because it's polite. But, like, why do we have to pay?
I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right.
But
I feel like we should move on.
I just don't. I've been married for way too long to know anything y'all talking about.
so graffiti, who pays?
I mean, when you marry, it's our money.
Right.
So, us.
Producer Julius, who pays?
Huh?
When should the woman start paying on the date?
On a date. Okay.
Y'all are tripping.
I said date 3.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like the guy should always at least offer to pay.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, unless I know you got that bag, then go ahead and pay for this thing real quick.
I mean, yeah,
Sacos real quick.
I'm gonna always offer at least, but
Yeah.
by date 3, I'm gonna probably reach for that check kind of slower than.
So
You ain't
then,
even leaving the
how are
tip.
you
I
looking
might-
at her if she doesn't, like, pay?
No, it doesn't matter.
You don't care?
I'm not gonna judge her.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be like,
What about
see,
from a woman's
that's why you
perspective,
lazy.
though,
That's why you a lazy mile high sis.
Right. You want to be equal, but we can't put in equal amount on this date.
Y'all dudes are interesting.
I don't even think we clarified with you. So how are mile high bros lazy?
Yeah.
In your experience?
Well, kind of how I noted earlier, I just feel like there's no real effort made, and literally,
What does that look like? Where's the ball being dropped?
it looks like, hey, those are the text message I'm getting. Hey, all right, cool. How's it going? Like, I'm responding, trying to be cool.
That's because when guys send the text message, "Good morning, beautiful. Good morning, apple."
Like,
Like,
this
I just
thirsty,
want to
this
tell you,
nigga
I was
thirsty.
thinking about you. I was thinking about you all night, and then it's read at 7 a.m. That's what we get back. That's what we get back. So we
I
just
think it's not like that with all women, I'm sure. And I'm sure, like, all mile high bros aren't lazy. But I am getting, like, lazy effort. And, yeah, just, like... So maybe it's me. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only woman experiencing this. I'm the only female here, so I can't speak
I mean,
for
you're
everybody,
not the only
but-
one. If it's
We
a
tired of
article
getting-
about this crap.
you tired of getting read at 9 a.m. So we just send back, "Hey."
Is that it?
So-
But what about an effort for, like, to actually get to know someone versus just, like, literally just come kick
What
it
does
with
that
me at
effort
my
look like, though,
house?
nowadays?
Like, just kick it with me at my house?
Here's the problem.
Like, what?
Here's the
That's
problem.
whack. That's corny,
I'm
yo.
gonna give y'all the motherfucking hot take.
Oh.
Here's the problem. Y'all want us, as men, to put in all this effort, but y'all are fucking a nigga that has put in little effort. Little to no effort. So we taking you out on dates. We dropping all this bread. We giving y'all gifts. We taking y'all to the damn Butterfly Pavilion, the Colorado Symphony, and
Aw.
then y'all fucking the hood nigga down
On
the
the
street.
side?
Y'all get.
Eee, I can't.
Because we
say
already
nothing
know
about that.
women are getting dick on the side until they transition into that serious relationship. So y'all already fucking the nigga.
But
that ain't
aren't
putting
y'all
in-
doing that too?
No, absolutely not.
So you're
What?
so
That
okay.
is
Wait.
preposterous.
So you're dropping all the other chicks and you're only exclusively being with this one person while you guys are dating.
You know, I can only speak for myself and all the other good brothers like myself.
Amen.
I can't speak to everyone else. But yeah,
Oh, Well, like I said earlier.
You hear that shit? Oh.
Well, actually, I mean, if that is, I mean.
I don't do that, but that's nice.
Well, no,
that sounds great.
No, I'm saying if that's true, then you're an anomaly, and I respect that, and I hope that there are more men like you floating around.
Not an anomaly. There's plenty of guys like myself. We just on red. We just left on red.
The left on
That's
red.
so
bro.
sad.
Ladies,
I feel bad.
So ladies, if you feel like men in Denver aren't trying hard enough, just go back through your text message. Reply to one of those messages that you left on red. That's the dude that's trying. And
So like you need
Okay.
to make an album called Left on Red.
Quit trying to hold conversations with the nigga that just sending, hey, sup.
Keep it all the way real.
Reply to that paragraph text message.
That
nigga.
thirsty nigga might be the one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'll go back through my phone later.
You right.
We
bro.
resolve
That
these
was a
relationship
hot take.
issues. Thank you.
That was a hot take.
Give
All
the
right.
thirsty nigga a chance.
Give the nigga some water.
Give the thirsty nigga some water. Yo, there we
That's
go.
why he's thirsty. Give the thirsty nigga some water.
That's some fire. That's a fucking bar.
Hilarious.
Period.
Oh god.
You wouldn't be
that is
thirsty
so
if y'all
funny.
ate a nigga. That's it.
That's
Oh man.
hilarious.
Anyways, we have fun with
Sorry,
you.
I kinda
Good.
lost my cool there.
I feel like we went over and everything. Our producer just went Chipotle or some
He's like,
shit.
all right, I'm good.
He's like, y'all bugging, bro. All right, so final question for you. One piece of advice, knowledge, love that you would leave with the world, what would that be?
To stay true to thine own self, and to I think not enough people listen to their gut and listen to their instincts. So I would always tell people to do that, and to know that your life and the things that you've experienced is not just for you, but it's to help someone else.
Word.
Nice. So as far as social media, how can people follow you and get in contact with you?
Well, on Facebook, you can find me at Gabriel Bryant, multimedia journalist. On Instagram, it's Gift of Gab. Instagram and Twitter is Gift of Gab. That's GYFTOFGABB. You can also find me on my new website,
Oh,
What's the new
go ahead,
website?
plug that.
Gabby'sWorldMedia.com.
Oh, sounds lit. Exquisite.
Sounds very dope-ish. All right, we had a good time with you. Let's make
Wait,
some
wait,
noise.
wait,
wait.
Okay.
Any other events? Anything else coming up that you'd like to plug?
Coming, well, I think look out for my new show, Glimpse, that's coming to PBS in January. And then the new Black Experience, like I mentioned before, will be coming back to PBS in February. So that's what I have coming up.
Cool. So, man, we enjoyed kicking it with you. That was a good time. Let's give it up for Gabriel Bryant.
Hey.
Thank you so much.
Life is Dope podcast. I'm Graffiti.
And I'm Davey. Skirt. We out.